feeling like a feeling, got a hunger inside. One look in my eyes, and you're running 'cause I'm...
Gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127 and welcome back to another Tera Console video. And in today's video I am giving you guys my beginner's guide on basically races, classes, and probably just some like leveling tips and stuff like that. Just some basic simple stuff to help get you started in the game and all that stuff. This isn't like a professional guide or anything. This is a beginner's guide coming strictly from a Tera beginner. So if I miss anything or anybody has any opinions or extra things they would like to add and all that fun stuff, feel free to leave it in the comments below. But let's go ahead and get into the video. So for starters with this guide, I'm simply just going to talk about the races. Now, if you guys want an in-depth guide on the races and their like stat benefits, what races go best with other classes and stuff like that, let me know in the comments. But personally, when it comes to classes and races, I'm going to tell you guys just like I told you in Neverwinter. I'm the type of person that believes pick whichever race you're going to enjoy looking at. Whenever people play an MMORPG, they're here to play it for, the long term. So make something you are okay with looking at for the next couple months, years, days, weeks, or, whatever your life. If you like hot chicks, make a hot chicks. You want to make, like an edgelord looking dude, make an edgelord looking dude. It's just that's how I look at it when it comes to races. But we have 7 races as of right now. And we have the Castanic, male and female. We have the Human, male and female. We have the Aman, male and female. We have the High Elf, female and male. We have the Popori. I am going to assume that's a male, but they are just one sex as of right now. We have the Ellen, which are only female. It's either Ellen or Elin. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, so if I am pronouncing that wrong, please forgive me. Feel free to correct me in the comments. And of course, we have the Baraka, which are only one sex. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is as of early access launch on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So this is all subject to change. Tera does have a thing where they add more classes, more races and stuff like that later on in the future. So if you're playing this game anytime after this video, there's a possibility that a lot more options could be here in this game than what I am saying right now. But now that we have seen all the races, let's go ahead and down and check out the classes. I'm going to tell you guys what class does what and all that fun stuff. The Berserker. Berserker is a burst DPS, melee heavy armor, as it says right here on the screen. I'll read you guys a description. Berserkers are constantly in motion and excel in multiple opponent situations, both as part of a group and solo. They use charge-up attacks to deal massive damage and can also block incoming frontal attacks. At level 65, this blocking capability is expanded to full tank status. So honestly, it looks like a Berserker can probably be a hybrid of a tank or DPS depending on how you want to build it and play it. We do have one more class in the game that also works similar to that, and we will get to that in a moment. But Berserkers, they're pretty mean DPS. I did get to play them a little bit during the beta. A lot of fun. I did enjoy that class. If you like heavy weapon two-hand classes, it's definitely something to consider. Next class is the Archer. If you've played an Archer in the MMO, you pretty much know what to expect here. Sustained DPS, ranged, and light armor. Archers are a highly mobile ranged combatants. By channeling arcane energy into bows, archers create a wide range of damaging effects. Archers can poison, slow, stun, and trap targets, giving them advantages in any counter. Now, one thing I do like about Archer is it does have a lot of like AoE and damage over time attacks. I do like how they in Tera specifically they gave Archer a lot more elemental abilities and stuff like that. It is kind of common for archers to have that in MMOs. I know the one in Final Fantasy 14 does work a similar way, but I do like that. When they give classes more abilities that are a bit outside of the norm for them. I think that's a cool thing. Lancer. From what I hear, Lancer is the best and easiest tank to use in the game. Now, that's just going by word of mouth. If I'm wrong and everyone thinks that there's a better tank, like I said, guys, feel free to correct me in the comments. But the only thing I know about Lancer is it's very slow moving, but apparently it's heavy armored, really easy to play. Basically, just sucks up aggro. So for a beginner who wants to learn the tank, I would definitely recommend Lancer. Mitigation tank, melee, heavy armor. Lancers are heavily armored fighters focused on anchoring in battle. They generate maximum threat with shouts and special attacks, sacrificing movement and attack power for the best durability in the game. So yeah, like I said, just powerful, heavy, sucks in everything, but they're just slow moving. Next we have the priest. The priest is a healer. Healer buffs, ranged, and robes. Light armor. Priests are spellcasters whose primary role is to restore health and vitality. However, they are not to be taken lightly. The same power that revives allies can be used to smite foes. Now, priests, they do DPS, but this is more so the healer that's just mostly strictly for healing from what I know. Most priests I've talked to use this more for just straight healing than anything. They can DPS damage and stuff like that, but it's more so built to be a healer. Any healer can attack in any MMO from what I know, but this class specifically is just made mainly for healing. Next we have my personal favorite, the Slayer Burst DPS Melee Light Armor. Agile fighters who use a devastating greatsword, high damage attacks combined with evasive maneuvers for a dynamic combat style. Slayer skills are quick, precise strikes that knock over and incapacitate even the largest foes, leaving them vulnerable for additional attacks. Now, the thing I love about Slayer, and the one thing that shocked me when I started playing it, is it moves very fast for a two-hand weapon user. Most of them, they're pretty slow. They keep the realism and they're struggling to swing the giant sword around. This class is fast as hell, and I love that. Like, honestly, imagine if you've played Final Fantasy XIV. Imagine Final Fantasy XIV's Dark Knight, and I'm talking the same concept. The whole concept of this class is keeping your MP high to use your best attacks. Imagine Final Fantasy XIV's Dark Knight a little bit faster as a DPS, and that's pretty much Slayer. It's a really, really awesome class. I don't mean to ride it because it's my personal favorite, but if you like great swords and you want something that moves quick, really dodgy and stuff like that to give you that Dark Souls combat style feel, I would play Slayer. Just a heads up. Next class is Mystic. Now this class is pretty cool. This is like a healer DPS hybrid. Now for the most part it's a healer, as you guys can see in the description. Healer, support, ranged, and robes. Mystics are strong healing class with skills to protect and support their group. Mystics also summon powerful thralls to assist to heal them in battle. Now they also have summon companions that they can use too. It's like a summoner DPS healer hybrid. This class is crazy. Every person I know that's played Mystic, they've said they've had a lot of fun with it. It's just overall a fun class to use for healing. So if you want to heal, do some DPS in the process, and just have a bunch of different things at your disposal, Mystic is the way to go. If you want to heal with style, let's say that. I would definitely say check out Mystic. Next one is the Warrior. This is the other class I was telling you about. This one's a tank and DPS hybrid. However, this class doesn't get tanky until I believe it's around its 50s and 60s area. So for your start of the game, you're going to be using this class solely as a DPS. It has two stances. There's a DPS stance, and then there's a tanking stance that just like increases its defense and threat that it gets from enemies. But I'm gonna read you guys the description. Evasion tank, sustained DPS, melee, light armor, quick attacks, and high mobility makes warriors essential to group play, but also very survivable when soloing. For tanking, warriors use their defensive stance, cross parry, and aggro generating attacks and shouts. In the DPS role, warriors use assault stance, which increase power and endurance. So yeah, like I was saying, guys, the class is the best of both worlds. You want to be warrior? You want to be a tank, you want to be a DPS, you want to be both, you want to play two roles with one class. This is the class to go with. Next, we have the Sorcerer. burst DPS, ranged, and robes. I'm also going to say sorcerers are very good AoE DPS too. These things are nasty. I'm just going to put it to you in short. If you've played Final Fantasy XIV's Black Mage, you know what you're getting into. Powerful magic spells, burst, and AoE. Sorcerers are spellcasters focused on annihilating enemies with high damage nuke attacks. The mobile artillery of Tera. A sorcerer's job is to kill things quickly. When grouped up, their skills decide which enemies die first. And that description is not exaggerating. Whenever a sorcerer challenges me to a duel in this game, I get nervous. Like I'm not even kidding with you guys. It's a really good class. But let's go ahead and check out the other two classes. We got to scroll down here because unfortunately these two classes are gender locked. Let's find the humans. Okay. So the first class we're going to talk about is the Brawler. This is another tank. Mitigation tank, melee, heavy armor. Brawlers are fast, solid armors, hand-to-hand combatants built for close and fighting. Brawlers use a variety of powerful blows to pummel enemies, including many fueled completely by rage. Brawlers' skills concentrate on dealing damage, but lots of brawler attacks knock enemies around the battlefield. Now, if you don't know what a brawler is, you know that one annoying class that's just like freaking pushing everything everywhere? That's a brawler. Now, don't get me wrong; these are great tanks. They can frustrate people when they're using their pushing move. I've noticed a lot of people complain about that. I just think a lot of tanks use that whole I'm trying to get the enemies away from the group thing instead of just bringing the enemies to the group to nuke them down. So I think a lot of people that play Brawler aren't necessarily trying to be a pain in the but I think they're just trying to play it safe to make sure that they're a good tank. But Brawlers out there, bring your mobs to your friends so they can nuke them. All right. And last but not least, I can't show the class yet, obviously, because I don't have a level 40 character. But we also have the Reaper. The Reaper is a DPS. You need a level 40 character or higher to unlock one. They are gender locked to the Ellen race as of right now. And the reason I say as of right now, because like I said, guys, they do tend to change these kind of things. Now, as of this video, there are 3 classes missing: the Ninja, Gunner, and the Valkyrie. These classes also do have gender locked things to them, so they're currently not in this video. So just so you guys know, for people watching this video in the future, this video was made during the early access times of the console version, where just the base classes were available. But now that we've gone over all the classes, guys, let's go ahead and get into the game and talk about some other fun stuff. So as you all know, obviously by now, Tera Console is a MMORPG, and there's a lot of grind to this game, a lot of work you got to do, and a lot of end game content. But right now, like I said, guys, in the beginning of this video, all we're strictly talking about is a beginner's guide, what to do and how to get you leveling. So when you first start Tera Console, you're going to be given an intro that's going to teach you the basics of combat, having you do some quests, just basically talking to NPCs and all that fun stuff. But for the gist of things, let's talk about the options and stuff a little bit. With your controls, do remember you're going to basically have only 2 hotbars on your screen when you first start Tera Console. However, if you come over here in the options menu, come over to controls, add an extra shortcut tray. I'm going to recommend everyone that plays turn that on, because when it comes to MMOs, especially in combat, you want to have as many open options as you can. So I feel the more space you have for moves, the better. So if anyone needs to know how to turn on a 3rd hotbar, there you go. But when it comes to Tera Console, chances are you get near you're a beginner. You want to know what's the fastest way to level. Now, obviously, you know there are plenty of ways. Tera is honestly very gracious with XP. From what I hear, the grind gets really rough around the 55 and 60 area. I personally don't know. I haven't got that far yet. But I'm going to tell you guys a few of the best ways to level up. So the first and foremost thing that, to my opinion, is the absolute best way are your Vanguard requests. And what Vanguard requests are basically dailies. And the cool thing is about these dailies, right? They never inconvenience you. Meaning the Vanguard requests that you always get, it's always based on the content you're currently doing. Like, say you're in the city of Velica right now, and you have Vanguard requests to do, and you have main quests to do there. Well, the Vanguard is also going to give you side things to do right there in Velica, or whatever city or town you're currently working on. And you're going to get bonus XP for just basically doing things that you would do anyway. Hey, while you're in this dungeon and clearing it, make sure you kill 10 of these that are already in this dungeon. And sometimes they even give you ones for just killing a certain boss in the dungeon that you have to kill anyway. This game gives you a lot of free XP, so it's really easy to level in here. The second most easy and foremost way I'm going to recommend to level in this game is doing your main storyline quests. And even side quests, they're good too, but honestly the main storyline, it gives up the best XP, the best gear, the best items and stuff like that. And that to my opinion is just, it makes things really convenient and really simple. Like, one thing I'll give this game is it lays everything flat on the line and just gives you a straight path to what you need to do without being a narrow game. I do appreciate that about this. The other way I want to talk about, and this is probably my most favorite way, and it's common in a lot of MMOs. This is usually the best way to level in most MMORPGs that I've seen, is dungeons. Now, the only thing about dungeons, the only catch when it comes to these is they're in level ranges, meaning one dungeon you have to be from level 20 to 25 to play it. The next dungeon you're going to have to be from like 26 to 31. The next dungeon is going to be 31 to 36, etc., etc. People within 5 levels of each other. Now, this doesn't mean you can't go back and run old content. You just have to manually bring a group with you and physically walk into that dungeon, meaning once you're past that level cap for that dungeon, you can no longer publicly queue for it anymore. And to my opinion, that's something I think they should look into changing in the game in the future, just like nerf higher level players, so that way I think that'll improve queues for all these dungeons overall. But that's just my opinion. We'll get into that topic another day. But dungeons are an absolutely wonderful, easy, and fun, grindy way to level up your character, and you get tons of XP, and not to mention you get tons of Vanguard bonus XP just for leveling dungeons. Now, one other thing I do want to teach you guys about before we go here is just gear and weapons. Now, whenever you're playing through dungeons, story mode content, you're out in the open world just killing stuff, you're going to get pieces called relics, which is going to let you build what's called an avatar weapon. Now, before I bring that up, I just want y'all to say that avatar weapons are not like an end game weapon or anything like that. You get these frequently throughout the game. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a special type of one that's built for end game and stuff like that, but I honestly don't know because I haven't hit end game yet. But you're going to get these relic pieces and you're going to build what's called an avatar weapon. You guys see that mine's glowing here a little bit. Well, it's a pretty cool effect that you get after upgrading your avatar weapon. And what you do is you're going to press triangle or Y depending on which console you're playing on. And you're going to come here to enchant. Now you're going to have 2 different items here. One called Alkahest, one called Feedstock. Basically, you just feed these into the weapon to upgrade it. Once it hits that +7 and +9 area, +9 is the cap, at least for basic avatar weapons. That's when your weapon's going to start to glow. You notice it's getting close to max out. What it does is it just basically increases the stats of the weapon. For my particular class, I'm a DPS, so it's going to increase my damage, my crit rate, attack modifiers, all that fun stuff. But basically, you just add the Alkahest to that. And usually what I do is I don't enchant them manually. I just hit auto enchant, let the game do it for me, and use up the most recommended amount of Alkahest. That way I'm not burning through more feedstock or alcohol than I need to, because that's one personal mistake I made in the beta. Always look for the game's recommendations when you are upgrading your avatar weapons, because like I said, one thing I did in the beta personally was I used way more feedstock and alcohol than I needed to. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up my Tera Console Beginners Guide. I hope this helps you all get started and gives you a bunch of success in Tera Console. If you have any questions, any type of comments, stuff you'd like to add, anything you feel I missed, like I said, guys, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm a beginner giving a beginner's guide. But if y'all enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button for me. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. It's your boy Tanek127. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace out, take care.